For this video, we're going to talk about how to set up the lab for Module 6 Studio. The very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to plug in your battery into an outlet. And once that's done, you're going to grab 2 red cables and 2 black cables. You're going to plug one of those black cables into the negative port of the battery and then into one side of the board given. And then you're going to plug in one of those red cables into the positive of the battery and one into the board. Then you're going to grab your voltmeter, turn it to 20 volts, put another red cable into the right port of the voltmeter, and then you're going to want to plug the other black cable into the middle port and plug the other end of that black cable into the very first black cable you used connected to the battery. This should leave the red cable connected to the voltmeter unattached to anything else. That's what you're going to use to read measurements. So you're going to touch different points along the board. Make sure to have turned the battery on by flipping the switch, or you won't read anything. If you are getting a negative number, that means the wires connected to the board are opposite. So you want to switch the ends, the red and black cable are connected on the board. And then you're going to put your wire, the one that you're using to read measurements of voltage, on the node that reads the most voltage. One of them is going to read 0 and one of them is going to read a max. You're going to want to turn the knob of the battery until that max voltage turns to 12 volts. And then once that reads 12, move your probe along the board to make sure you're getting different voltage values. A tip here to make sure you're doing so you get proper voltage values is to make sure it's the probe is perpendicular to the bulb. If you have it at an angle, it's not going to read it properly. And that is how you set up your board. So during this lab, what we're looking for is equipotential lines. So the whole purpose is to use the probe and measure different voltages on the board given to you. And then at the points you record the voltage, you're going to write those voltages on your graph paper. And then you're going to look for points of voltage that are around the same number. So if you see values that are around 6, 8, 10, you're going to focus on those. And you're going to connect them with a line. And after you recorded a bunch of points, and those lines are going to be your equipotential lines. So you want to make sure to do all of the points, definitely all the points in the middle between your two shapes given. Or if you're given the circle, you're going to do majority of the points inside the circle. And then when you start to realize the trends where the equipotential lines seem to be going, you just want to focus on those points. Some points around it to show exactly where it is, but really focus on the points that you believe seem to be making this shape the lines are going. So, and then once you have those all drawn out, you want to make sure to label the different voltages for the equipotential line voltage. So if you have one line, one's for 6, make sure to label that line your 6 voltage equipotential line. And just as a good tip for your group, you're going to have one person using the probe to find the different voltages. You're going to have another person writing the points on the graph paper, and another person has their laptop open recording data points in an Excel file, because you're later going to want to put these on a group Excel file. So that's how you're going to do this lab.